Hi, everybody. Welcome to Fireway Volcanic Hispanics. We are going to touch up on a brief topic today, which is construction, work being done on the home. This really isn't only for women, but really we focus in on women, single women, women that don't have someone that either knows about construction or has a man that represents them. And so it's very important to talk about this. Mimi, you have so much experience in construction. Tell us a little bit about you, what brought you into construction, and what your opinions are on this subject.
I have been I studied architecture, and I've been in construction for 30 plus years. And the reason why I got involved in construction was since I was a very young girl, I was in the construction site with my dad. Uh, he would build homes, and I would go and visit him. And I wasn't supposed to be there, but I would just escape in there because I liked it so much. And it was different because most of the time girls didn't go into those careers, nor did they like those careers because it requires a lot of the individual that goes in there. Um, I studied architecture, so I'm an architect by education, and I do a lot of construction and project management. So I have a lot of experience both in the private and public sectors of construction.
Okay. So I mean, the whole premise of this and the reason why we're really talking about this is because I am a new homeowner. I've had this home for a year and a half. I decided to do electrical work on the house. Why? This past year I did Christmas lights. The lights, I guess it was too much for the electricity that was already established in the home, and so it would trip the electricity. One half of the house would just go dark. And so I decided, for continuity of work, I decided to go with the company that had initially done the electricity within the home. So I contacted the same company. We're not going to say their name. And I asked to do four things within the home. So increase the ampage, pull electricity out to a motor, a gate opener motor, the shed in the back, and for a water softener. So it was four different projects that I decided to do. And I just want to emphasize on anyone that owns a property, if you're going to have any work done, please approach your county, ask if you need a permit. And there was a situation, very small story time. I decided to put a fence around my property, being that I am surrounded by woods, okay? On the both sides of my home and on the front of my home, I have woods. And so with the woods comes wild animals, and with the wild animals comes at night when you need to open your gate and you have to manually open it. You need a motor, right? If not, they say boo and open and close the mouth, and before you know it, half of Jessica's missing and there's a trail of blood, right? So we're trying to avoid that. And when I approached my county, the county said, yes, you can go ahead, put a gate. There was no permit for the gate.
Yeah, there was no permit required by the county to put a fence.
Right, the fence. I'm sorry. I keep saying gate. Fence around the property of the home. But I didn't, I thought in my mind, being that I'm not in construction and I did not speak with my mom about this, I said, I can do it myself. Yes. And the guy told me, the one that put the fence, I'll put in the motor, no problem. And I said, oh, well, I don't need a permit, right? Because it's attached to the fence. I don't need a permit. Wrong. I needed a permit. I needed a permit for the electricity portion of it and to have a motor. And so the guy brought in someone that was not a certified electrician.
Licensed
He was not licensed
by the state.
I did not know. I thought, oh, he's got it. And the thing is that I was taken advantage of. I was taken for a ride, and what ended up happening was that he pulled electricity from the AC. It tripped the AC. We ended up without electricity to the AC, sweating. Um, and the guy could have burned down my house. So we laugh now, but this could have been a very serious issue. Then I'm trying to be proactive. I'm trying to fix up my house. I'm super excited, and it turns to shit. And if I didn't have her, I would be up shit creek without a paddle. So, I've told you this. I'm very proud of you. I have to say that it's a generational thing too. I think that we need more women. I think we're seeing more women now in construction than before. But coming from the generation that you did, it was unheard of. A woman in construction. It was not approved, given the seal of approval. It was not.
Especially for Hispanics.
Yes.
Hispanics, that was not acceptable. The family did not like for the girl to go into a man's career. And that's how it was viewed.
Yeah.
Why aren't you, instead of an architect, why aren't you a nurse? Why aren't you a teacher? You have careers that you could select that is not a man's career. And so it was hard for me because I really was in love with architecture. It was something that I loved. That I would study, and I just loved it.
And you have to prove yourself not only to your family, but then when you go out into the field, it's a male-dominated career. And it's not only construction that's male-dominant, it's auto. The auto world is also male-dominated. And so it's not only did you have to deal with your family, but you have to deal with the profession itself and everyone in it. And it's hard.
It's difficult. It's difficult.
But you've made it work. You're a badass. I think you're a badass. And you've done very well. And so with that said, with the electrical work that had to be done, we got an estimate. And so I want to just highlight, bold, italicize the word estimate. It's an estimate. It could go higher, much higher. And so this estimate that was given to me was close to $6,000. Easily could climb to $10,000 just because of the estimate. So I sent the estimate to my mom, and she took a look at it, and I was being taken for a very expensive ride. And so take it away, Mimi.
Well, when they give you an estimate, and this is for the single ladies out there.
The single ladies.
That really don't have much help, and you might not have someone with this background. Look at your estimate, read it. Read every word of it, from the beginning to the end. And the first thing that I look at in an estimate is, does it include the warranty of parts and labor? You must require that in that cost estimate. What is the warranty on those parts and the materials that they're going to put, and the labor cost? Another thing that you need to look at is the credit card, the fee that they're going to charge you if you use a credit card. And you could go another route. You could use a check, or you could use a debit card, and that is something that you have to ask the GC or the subcontractor, general contractor or subcontractor, depending on the work that you're doing. You need to look at everything that they say. One of the line items that just captured me immediately was that this estimate says that there will be a $250 service fee added to the final estimate for each trip to the home if all scopes of work are not ready on the first visit. Well, of course all the scopes are going to be ready, because you, as an owner, are going to get all the specifications of the motor that you're going to include in your home, of the softener, the water softener that you're going to include, if the shed has any cabling or
You see, I didn't know this. I just have to say, she's telling me this, and I said, wait a minute. I just want a motor.
And because she did not have the specifications for the electrical company, they put their own specifications. Like, we don't know right now if you're going to put a generator, you don't know.
Right, but he's saying that I need to have the specifications done, right? I have to have them ready. I'm clearly not going to have them ready if I didn't have her telling me to have them ready. So what does this mean, people? This means you got to go to the store, find out exactly what motor you want. If you can get one of those little brochures, if you could get some information, take a picture of the box, I don't know.
Or it could be as simple as you look online and you look at everything, the amperage of the unit, like the generator. They said here that you are going to get a 15 amp generator. Well, what about if you want an 80 or 100 amp generator? Then he's just pulling the pre-wire for something that's 50 amps, and that means a change order. What does a change order mean? That the scope of the work has changed, that what they did, they have to pull, redo it, and it's going to cost you more money. More trips, more money, materials change, and therefore you are going to be charged more money, and your work is not going to get done. So those are details that you must look at previous to sending this sign to the contractor.
Would you suggest that you look it up online and then you either screenshot or you download, maybe it's a PDF from the company, you want to go and get a generator, they offer the specifications in a PDF form. Would you suggest that you get all your information and you submit it to the contractor?
You could do it both ways. You could have all this information ready for that contractor or subcontractor before he gets to your home.
Prior to signing?
Prior to everything, prior to even a cost estimate. Therefore, you could have this information and you know exactly what you want, the type of equipment that you want, and you save time. If you don't have that information and you just want to talk to the contractor and say, I just want a general water softener, you cannot be asking him, what do you recommend? Because that water softener is what you want, what your needs are. So you have to be very, very clear as to what you want. And you could provide him that information after he does the cost estimate, which I really don't recommend. I think that you should have all the information before he gets there, so you can say, this is what I want, and it's clear to him. And that way he puts it on the cost estimate. If not, he's going to do what he did to you, Jesse. He's going to put whatever he thinks is convenient, and whatever, maybe perhaps the material that he has stored away, he wants to use it on your project.
Well, this is another thing that I want to add. Like I mentioned in the beginning, I have 4 things going on that I want to add to the house. Now, each of these things, each of these projects require, according to this estimate, 1 or 2 electricians working on each project. Now, you had mentioned each trip is $250. You have to ask, is it going to be 250 times 4? Or in the highly unlikely situation, is there going to be a van with multiple electricians congregating on my home? I doubt it. So then that increases, and I just have to add this, the 250 is not the cost of the electrician coming and doing the job. No, that's just a fee, because there's also a line here that says contractor labor rate, and it's at $90 per man hour times 2 men for 8 hours. And the hour to complete each thing is specified. So one project would be 8 hours, another would be 2 hours. And so this just could go.
That is why you have to ask for a time frame also. How long will this project take time? And you also have to require or request from them the level and the ranking of these electricians. This is an example: electrician, plumber, roofer. You have to ask for their license, and you have to ask for their level of rank. That means, is it an apprentice? Is it a middle experienced electrician, or is it a senior electrician? Those are questions that you have to ask, and they have to put it on your cost estimate, because you need to find out how much are they charging you for each of those electricians. And believe me, the price changes, and it's not $90. It's not. So you have to look at the Florida salary range for electricians and find out how much truly they should be charging. So that's something that you have to compare with. You might be very satisfied with the estimate, the quote that they gave you, and you'll go right ahead and sign it. But before you do that, you need to read it and be satisfied with what you're getting. Also, the materials. You need to find out what type of materials are they giving you. Do these wires, are they non-metallic? Do they have copper? The covers for the electrical receptacles, are they metal? Are they plastic? What type of plastic? Are they transparent? These are things that you need to be aware of. And also location. Location has to do a lot with price, because right here I'm looking at something which they included for the motor of your gate, a PVC pipe, 1/2 inch PVC plastic pipe, which they're going to put the cabling inside of it. Well, they have 60 linear feet for your PVC pipe, but yet they have for the copper wire that goes inside of that PVC pipe 250 linear feet. That means there's discrepancy. So they need to explain to you, why is there a discrepancy? And you don't know about codes, but you need to be very aware of what they're doing, because you're talking about electricity. And so it has to be very clear as to what you are going to get.
And electricity or plumbing or anything like that, you also have to make sure that you have someone that is not Pepito next door with a sticker stuck to his van and that's it. Is he part of the BBB? Has he been rated of the business? What is it? Better Business Bureau.
Better Business Bureau.
You need to make sure that you have someone legit, because look at what happened to me with the electricity of the motor. Because I didn't have someone that was legit working on the house. So foolishly, I didn't think about this. And so dollars and cents, you found something that was what? 44 cents, but online you found it at 33 cents.
33 cents, and everybody's going to say, well, that doesn't really matter. I mean, it's just 10 cents that you're talking about, 11 cents that you're talking about. Well, you know, when you say, okay, it's 11 cents for 60 linear feet,
that's times 60.
Yeah, it adds up. And when you say, well, they're charging me 17 cents for 250 linear feet, but online it's 10 cents. Well, I want to know why. Why are you charging me so much when I could get this for less? Then you have discrepancy of one item that's $25 in one project, and then it's $2.51 in another project. So you need to be clear as to what you are going to get and why you're going to get that price versus the other price. There's a lot of different things that you have to look at, and you have to, like I said before, you have to be very satisfied. If something doesn't make sense, ask the question. Also, at this point, when you review your cost estimate, if you want to add any line items, add it in the first preliminary review that you do to this cost estimate. Once you review it and you give it back to the contractor and he is willing to make these changes, if he agrees with what you are saying, then at that point, and you're satisfied with what he gives you, you sign off on it. Make sure that you have the warranty on this cost estimate. Also the time frame. How long is it going to take you to complete this project? How many trips are you going to make to my house? What type of licensed tradesperson do you have coming to my house? And then the one thing that's very important is what you cannot. There's OSHA requirements for a contractor to leave the site clean. You don't have to sweep after this contractor, and you don't have to pick up any boxes or trash after they are done. There is a law that they have to leave the condition of the site as it was or better than it was, not worse than it was. So you don't have to pick up a broom and start sweeping. They have to do it. Call them back and have them do it. The other thing is you have to think about this. They might ask you to use the restroom. You don't have to let them inside of your property, inside of your house. They could get their truck and go to a gasoline station and use the facilities there or somewhere else, or even bring their own portable potty or what have you. They don't have to use the property inside your house, and if you don't feel safe, you don't have to open that door. They could work outside if they're working outside. And they have to do their necessities somewhere else. And they have to clean the site.
Mm-hmm. How do you not and let me tell you, this is not in any way us throwing dirt on men at all. This is simply an observation.
Well, this is good for anyone.
For anyone.
We're talking specifically to the ladies, because this podcast is really geared for the woman that needs help, and give them knowledge so that they succeed in whatever they do.
Right. In no way is this throwing dirt on men
or downgrading.
But this is a male dominated profession. We've highlighted that a million times. And so unfortunately, sometimes when you're a single woman and you don't know about these things and you're requesting information, sometimes you're taken advantage of. The same with a car. You don't know about cars, about auto mechanics, and they will rack up the bill and they'll tell you, no, this is what you need. And they'll start inventing things that you say, at the end of it, you've been taken advantage, and then you feel bad. So then my question to you, Mom, is, do you believe that a female, we're seeing more and more females now, but do you think that an all-female construction crew, a GC that's, female running a female crew, how do you think a woman crew would handle single women? Do you think they would do the same thing as men? Do you think that they would be more open because they've had this done to them, this discrimination done to them? Do you think we should see more women within the auto industry, within the construction industry, really not only running the show, but working in trades?
I think so. I think that women have a nurturing ability more than men. It's in their DNA. It's biological. We could look at it every which way, but that's the truth. And I know that anyone in the profession has to make a profit, because if not, you cannot have a business. You can't run it. You can't eat. So you do have to have a profit so that you continue to succeed in the business. But I believe that they would be more understanding and more able to work with the situation. And also understand the needs. As a designer, a woman knows, if she works every day in the kitchen, what the needs are for storage, for lighting.
Where the laundry room should go, the flow,
the circulation of the spaces. That is something that women have that ability, specifically in some of the areas where women work more.
So it's not only that we're good at going to TJ Maxx and picking up a vase and decorating a space. We're so much more than that. It's putting a plan together, a layout of a building, of a site, and knowing the flow of how things should go. We have a lot of men putting a house together, doing architecture, and not really thinking about where things should go. And really, houses we've spoken about this, the houses are pigeonholes. There is no creativity within these homes back in the day, but we can say that as a society that the creativity has gone away. There is no intricacy, there is no design, there is no
Well, what I've observed lately is not only the design aspect of it. I think it has to do a lot with money, the increase in materials and in everything as far as energy of you know gasoline and what have you. I mean, those are prices that we're paying for, but it also has to do with the quality of materials. I mean, I've seen lately that they're using
Pressed wood.
pressed wood, pressed wood on construction.
Pressed wood. Because not a lot of people know
And
what pressed wood
I
is.
said, well, pressed wood is the cheapest material that you could ever use for construction. And if we have hurricanes, and it might not hold. So those are concerns that we have as builders, as
This is pressed wood, so it's a mosh posh of wood chunks put together.
It's compressed, and it doesn't have the strength, the material strength.
If it gets wet, it's gone.
A regular plywood would have. So that concerns me a lot. But the quality of the materials itself has deteriorated considerably, and I'm asking myself why. But there's a lot that goes in construction, and so
Well, we appreciate your expertise. I know I would be in trouble if I didn't have you. To keep an eye out for these kinds of things. In no way is this of estar en todo, be in everything, know everything, but this is simply to educate you guys because we are not all experts in every field. And
or in no way are we degrading anyone because of gender or anything like that. But there is a difference, and so we understand what the need is for females.
within
Because
this industry.
we are females, and so sometimes females feel a little bit inferior because we don't have the knowledge to
Or respected, to be honest with you. And I'm just going to even go here. I bought myself a truck, right? I bought a truck the same day my stepdad bought a truck. And prior to buying this truck, I was quoted a price on this truck by myself. Because I like to do things by myself. I'm an only child. I go to this place, I get quoted a price on the truck. I didn't go with a man. I tell my stepdad the price of this truck. My stepdad calls and says, I want a truck, the same specifications of this truck that I was looking at. He was quoted $5,000 below. And this was him not even showing his face. This was on the phone. Why? Why? Is it because I'm young? Is it because I'm a female? Is it because I look stupid? That sucks. And this message is for the men now. Because this is male dominated. Instead of taking us for a ride, you guys are the hunters. We are the gatherers, right? You guys are the protectors. You've been entrusted with protecting. Why are you taking advantage? And this makes me sad because this leaks into what society has become. We need men to be protectors. I get it. You need to make your money. But I ask of you not to take advantage of women, especially women that are single moms, that are already going through it. They need help. They need orientation, and they have no one to rely on.
so have a little bit of understanding
Compassion. And that protective nature to come out. Because that's what we don't have about now.
And we need a lot of.
We need it. So with that said, thank you.
You're welcome.
This was needed. I think that this is very good. Again, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, we have an email at the end of the podcast. It's in a slide. Send us an email. We would love to hear from you. And so we're here to help. If you have any questions, we always encourage seek out information. We have computers, we have so many ways of seeking out information, and so we encourage education and independence of thought. Okay, so
Toast to you.
Thank you for watching. Toast me, me.
I forgot.
Thank you.